Welcome back, friends. Today we were going to be talking about what makes a complete sentence. You already know that sentences start with a capital letter and they end with proper punctuation. But in between that capital letter and that proper punctuation, there has to be a complete sentence. You might be asking yourself, what makes a complete sentence? We're going to discuss that today. A complete sentence must have a subject and a predicate. The subject is the noun part of the sentence, the naming part of the sentence, and it tells who or what the sentence is about. The predicate shows action, and it shows what that subject is doing. Let's look at an example. If we have the subject, Janet, Janet is our subject. Then we have the predicate. Listens to music. Notice that our sentence starts with a capital letter. It ends with a period. But it also has a subject and it has a predicate. Now, I want you to notice something else. Our predicate always starts with a verb, an action word. And our subject is typically a noun. Okay? So I want you guys to pay close attention to that and look for that as we move through the lesson. So here we have our subject and we have our predicate. The noun that is the naming part of the sentence is our subject. The predicate starts with a verb and it shows the action. So if one is missing, then it is not complete. It's no longer a complete sentence. It is now considered a fragment. We just learned a new word. A fragment is a broken up sentence. So it doesn't have either a subject or it doesn't have a complete predicate. So let's look at some examples. Here we have examples of complete sentences. We have Miss Smith reads every night. Now this is an example of a really great sentence because we have our subject, Miss Smith, and she reads every night. Reads is our predicate because it is a verb and it starts our predicate. Dogs bark. Now you might be asking yourself, or you might be saying to yourself, Miss Maya, that doesn't look like a complete sentence to me. But it is. Even though it's only two words, it's a very complete sentence because it has a subject and it has a predicate. Barks, which is our verb. Now, I don't want you writing sentences like that. We like our sentences to be beefy and meaty, okay? So let's look at some examples of fragments. Going to the store. What's missing from that sentence? Our subject. We don't know who's going to the store. There's no subject. Now let's look at the example for our next fragment. We have Amani is going. We have our subject. We know the subject is Amani, but where is she going? There is a missing part of our predicate. So now let's look at some more examples. As a reminder, the subject is what or who the sentence is about. The predicate tells what that subject is doing. It is the action part of that sentence. So let's write some examples. Miss Maya loves reading. So do you think you can identify the subject in that sentence? If you said Miss Maya, you are correct. And do you think you can identify the predicate in that sentence? Loves, I forgot I spelled that wrong, but loves reading. And love, should be loves, is a verb, and that indicates that that's the beginning of our predicate. Now let's look at some more examples. Now, I told you that a sentence must express a complete thought. But here we have some subjects and we have some predicates. Now, sometimes you might want to write a silly sentence, and that's fine. But we're not doing that today. But here we have some pretty silly sentences. We have, the sun is yummy. That sounds dangerous. We have, the girl shines in the sky. How? And we have, the ice cream like to paint. I didn't know ice cream likes to paint. It's crazy. All right, so we have subjects here, we have predicates here. But a complete sentence must make sense. So we have the sun. I think we need to switch this and this. The sun shines in the sky. That looks like it's right to me. The girls is yummy. No, we don't need girls. So we're going to say the girls like to paint and the ice cream is yummy. Always remember that sentences must make sense. Also remember that the subject is the naming part of the sentence, which is the noun, and the predicate shows what that subject is doing. It's the action. So I hope you learned a lot today, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson on subjects, predicates, fragments, and identifying complete sentences. Thank you, class, and have a great day.